How am I supposed to get up that? Not recommended unless you have trail shoes. I think this is a runner's shoe nightmare. So make sure you got some traction. It's tough enough with trail shoes. You really kind of need metal spikes, honestly, to be sure of your footing. How am I supposed to get up that? I hope that was worth it. Wow, it's steep up there. All right. Some ice fishing. That's awesome. We're gonna have to finish this in the dark though. As you can see, it's getting dark. Welcome to Ohio winter. Yes. It's all right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dan the Ultra Dad. Hope everyone's doing well. You know, this is a great time of year to sit back and reflect on things that we would like to have done better, things that maybe we can improve upon in the upcoming season for ultra running. And so that's what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about 3 mistakes I made in my first 100 miler. Let's get into it. Before we start, everybody, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like thumbs up, and hit the bell notification if you'd like to be notified of future videos. I appreciate everybody watching my channel. It's been a lot of fun. So drinking some coffee this morning on a Sunday morning. I had a great run yesterday. Hope you enjoyed some of the video from that run. And as I was running, I was thinking about ways that I can improve my ultra running. And I don't know, little things, big things, pretty much anything that I could think of. And 3 things came to mind that I think that anybody could use. Boy, this coffee's good. So we've gone back from a Keurig, little coffee update, gone back from a Keurig to a regular drip coffee maker. I just found I was drinking way too much coffee to be using a Keurig. It just didn't make financial sense, if you know what I mean. Those K-Cups can be pretty expensive. So really enjoying that, digging the drip coffee maker. So I don't know, comment below if you like a drip coffee maker, if you go Keurig. That is the question of the day. Keurig or traditional coffee maker. Now, the one thing about a drip coffee maker I don't like as much as a Keurig is it seems like it doesn't quite get the coffee hot enough for me. I'm one of those guys, I like my coffee, it's got to be burning my tongue to really be good. So I find myself popping this in the microwave more often, but it's something I can live with if it means not having to buy a million K-Cups every week. All right, so 3 mistakes I made in my first 100 miler. So I normally am a very positive person. I don't like to go back and think about my mistakes as much, but I think it's important to do so when you're talking about a 100 miler because you only run a couple of those every year. And so you only have a couple opportunities to learn from things that happen at that distance. And definitely the next time you go and run one of those races, you want to try to improve as much as you can. So the first and probably biggest mistake I made was not doing a thorough job of course recon before the race. So to catch up people who haven't been watching this channel very long, I ran my first 100-mile ultramarathon back in October. So, looking back, I did go through the course and I thought a decent amount about what to expect as far as elevation gain and things like that. That's good, thank you. To be fair to myself, I'm not sure that the main mistake I made with my course recon was really something I could have figured out by looking at the course ahead of time. So in my 100-miler, as well as many others, they had to redesign the course to avoid public lands because the state parks in Ohio were closed to races and things like that. So they redesigned it and rerouted it completely, and part of that reroute involved a bike path. So some people might like this aspect of the race, especially road runners, but if you've seen in my other videos, I prefer dirt surfaces. And part of it is because of my joints. I think that they respond better to dirt, and the pavement really did hurt quite a bit. If I would have planned properly, I would have brought a pair of road shoes to slip on just before this paved bike trail section. And I think that would have helped me a lot. And so that was my first biggest mistake, is I didn't do thorough course recon. I was wearing the Ultra Olympus 4s on that section, and they just aren't great for running on pavement for long periods of time. And honestly, it definitely hurt me. I was feeling it quite a bit just before mile 50 in the race because of that. Mistake number 2, bring a crew. So, for me in this case, I kind of had to not have my crew, which would be my family. My wife was working and my kids, we weren't able to figure out childcare. But if you can, bring a crew with you, especially to an ultramarathon 100-mile event. This may seem like common sense, but for a lot of weekend warriors like myself, it's not always easy to bring a crew. And I will tell you that when you have a crew, it makes your life so much easier and definitely drastically increases your chances of finishing the event. You can tell just the difference of having a crew. Things happen in these events. There's always something that goes wrong. And if you have a crew to help you through that, help you get a supply that you need, all of that helps a lot. Mistake number 3, I abandoned speed work in my training plan. Now, this was my very first 100-mile finish, but after some research after the race, I started to think that maybe I missed a key element of my training plan, and that was speed work. And I've realized that although we're dealing with a 100-mile event, which is obviously more of a long-distance endurance event than a speed event, speed work, I think, does help with your overall fitness and probably should be done earlier in your training plan, but definitely should be a component of your training plan. Training plans run the gamut as far as the variety and the diversity of different ideas about how you can most effectively train your body to have a good result in an ultramarathon. But I think speed work definitely has its place, and I totally abandoned it during my training plan. I was 100% focused on distance, time spent. Those are probably the most important aspects, time on your feet and total distance, but weekly distance and things like that. But I think speed work would have been helpful earlier in the training plan and would have increased and raised my overall level of fitness, which I think would have helped me in the long run with the Mohican 100-miler. I'm going to try to integrate some speed work, probably, again, towards the beginning of the training plan. I'm going to go to the track. You'll see in future videos what I'm doing, but I'm going to be doing some intervals on the track to try to raise my aerobic fitness a bit, increase my heart rate, and challenge myself on that speed side of my fitness. So we'll see. I don't really know if it's going to help in the end, but I figure we might as well try. It's all fun. It's all a learning experience. The three mistakes that I made during my first 100-mile ultramarathon at the Mohican 100. Number one, I had a course recon fail. Number two, I didn't have a crew. And number three, I had completely eliminated speed work out of my training plan. So those are my three mistakes for my first 100-miler. I don't know. Do you have any ideas? Do you have any thoughts? If you have a chance, go check out my video, my first 100-mile ultramarathon, which I've linked to the upper right-hand corner here. And let me know what you think, maybe other mistakes I may have made or any advice you have for me. Definitely mention those in the comments below. I'd be curious to see what you think. Again, this is all a learning experience, which is what's so fun about it. I hope you're enjoying me with the journey. And I'm anxious to hear about your journeys as well, so make sure you mention it down below. Once again, subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification if you like my videos. Thanks again for joining me tonight. I'll see you in the next one.